Listen up, Bills Mafia. We need to talk about what's happening with our franchise quarterback and why the next few weeks could define our entire season. This isn't doom and gloom. This is reality check time mixed with legitimate hope for what could be an absolute game-changing move that puts us right back on track for that Lombardi trophy we've been chasing for decades. Josh Allen has been carrying this team on his back for years now, and over the last 3 weeks, we've seen him struggle in ways that honestly aren't entirely his fault. 4 picks, 8 sacks, and an offense that looks like it's searching for answers rather than dictating terms to defenses. But here's the thing, this isn't about Josh regressing or losing his elite abilities. This is about a roster construction issue that's finally catching up to us, and the good news is that it's fixable, and it might be getting fixed sooner than we think. The Stephon Diggs era is over, and while some fans wanted to pretend we could just plug and play with what we had, the truth is becoming crystal clear. Diggs is absolutely balling out with his new squad, putting up numbers, and proving he's still got that alpha mentality we desperately needed him to bring every single Sunday. We let a true number 1 walk, and now Josh is out there trying to make magic happen without that safety blanket, without that guy who can win one-on-one matchups consistently and take the top off a defense. Right now, Dalton Kincaid is leading our receiving core in targets. Now, don't get me wrong, Kincaid is a talented tight end with soft hands and excellent route running for his position, but he's not the guy who's going to stretch the field vertically and make defensive coordinators lose sleep at night. He's a possession player, a chain mover, someone you love having in your arsenal, but who can't be your primary weapon if you want to compete for championships in this league. The Bills' offense needs more than reliable. It needs explosive. And that's where we're coming up short right now. Khalil Shakir has been solid working out of the slot, doing exactly what we ask of him in terms of moving the chains on third downs and providing that underneath safety valve Josh needs when the pocket collapses. But Shakir isn't built to be an outside threat. He's not going to consistently win on the boundary against physical corners, and that's perfectly fine, because that's not his game. The problem is, we don't have anyone else who can do what we need on the outside. Then there's Keon Coleman, our first-round pick who came in with so much hype and promise. The talent is absolutely there. You can see it in flashes, but he hasn't been able to put it all together consistently yet. He's still developing, still learning the nuances of playing receiver at the NFL level. And while his future looks bright, we can't afford to wait for him to figure it out if we're serious about winning now. Josh Allen is in his prime, our championship window is wide open, and we need to maximize every single season we have with 17 under center. This offensive identity crisis is forcing Josh to take risks he shouldn't have to take. He's trying to make throws into tighter windows because we don't have guys who can create separation consistently. He's holding the ball longer because nobody's getting open quickly enough, and that's leading to those 8 sacks we've seen pile up. The turnovers aren't about Josh being reckless for the sake of being reckless. They're about a quarterback trying to will his team to victory without the weapons necessary to execute a balanced, efficient passing attack. Analysts across the league have been saying it for weeks now. The Bills' offense feels one-dimensional, and that's the kiss of death in today's NFL. After that frustrating loss to the Patriots, where we should have absolutely dominated, but instead looked sluggish and predictable, insiders started speaking the truth that Bills Mafia already knew. We're missing that true alpha wide receiver, that guy who commands double teams, who changes how defenses have to game plan, who gives Josh Allen the kind of downfield threat that made our offense so dangerous in years past. This is where things get really exciting though, because apparently Brandon Beane and the front office aren't content to just roll with what we have. The rumor mill is absolutely on fire right now with reports connecting us to New Orleans Saints receiver Chris Olave. And folks, this would be an absolute home run acquisition if we can pull it off. We're talking about a 25-year-old elite receiver who's already posted back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in an offense that's been absolutely dysfunctional around him. Chris Olave is exactly what this offense needs right now. He's got legitimate burner speed that would immediately stretch defenses vertically and open up everything underneath for Kincaid and Shakir. His route running is absolutely pristine, crisp breaks, excellent body control, and the kind of technical precision that creates consistent separation at every level of the field. This isn't some project player or aging veteran looking for one last payday. This is a young, ascending talent who's already proven he can produce at an elite level in this league. Think about what Olave would do for Josh Allen specifically. Josh's greatest strength has always been his ability to extend plays, to move around in the pocket, and create time for his receivers to get open downfield. Olave's speed and acceleration would be absolutely lethal in those scramble drill situations. Imagine Josh rolling right, defenders collapsing, and Olave using his jets to get behind the secondary for an explosive gain. That's the kind of chemistry that could take this offense from good to absolutely unstoppable. The fit is almost too perfect to ignore. Olave's ability to win on go routes, posts, and crossers would give our offense the vertical dimension it's been missing since Diggs departed. Defenses would have to respect the deep ball again, which would open up the intermediate passing game for Kincaid and create more favorable matchups for Shakir working underneath. Suddenly, our run game gets easier because safeties can't creep up into the box without fear of getting burned over the top. It's the kind of addition that elevates everyone around it. Multiple analysts and league insiders have already pointed out how seamless this marriage would be. The consensus seems to be that Olave represents the ideal number one wideout for a quarterback like Josh Allen. His skill set meshes perfectly with Josh's improvisational style, his willingness to work back to the quarterback on broken plays, and his ability to make tough catches in traffic. This isn't just about adding talent, it's about adding the right kind of talent that maximizes what we already have. Now here's where it gets tricky, and where Brandon Beane is going to have to make a tough decision about how serious we are about winning right now. The Saints aren't going to just give Olave away, especially not to an AFC contender. We're talking about a significant draft capital investment, probably multiple picks including at least one high selection. The price is going to be steep, and there will be fans who balk at the cost, who say we need to protect our future and not mortgage draft picks for one player. But here's the counter-argument that should win out every single time. We have Josh Allen in his prime, playing at an MVP level when he has the weapons around him. We have a defense that's been solid and capable of winning games. We have a coaching staff that knows how to win in this league. Our championship window is open right now, not 3 years from now when those draft picks would be contributing. Draft picks are valuable, but they're only valuable if they turn into players who can help you win championships, and Olave is already that player. The AFC East is tighter than anyone expected this season. The Patriots just beat us at home, showing that any given Sunday in this division can go sideways if we're not at our best. The Dolphins have been competitive when healthy, and the Jets always play us tough. We can't afford to assume we're going to cruise to a division title, and we definitely can't afford to enter the playoffs with an offense that feels incomplete and predictable. Josh Allen's confidence, while never truly shaken because he's mentally tough as they come, has to be wavering at least a little bit after these last few weeks. He's used to having elite weapons, he's used to feeling like he can take over games with his arm, and right now the pieces around him aren't giving him that capability. Landing a player like Chris Olave would be a massive vote of confidence from the organization, a statement that we're all in on winning now, and that we're going to give our franchise quarterback every tool he needs to succeed. The timing couldn't be more perfect either. We're still in excellent position in the standings despite these recent struggles. Getting Olave now gives him time to learn the playbook, build chemistry with Josh, and be fully integrated into the offense before the stretch run and playoffs begin. This isn't a desperation move, this is a strategic enhancement that takes us from playoff contender to legitimate Super Bowl favorite. Think about what our offense would look like with Olave lining up outside. Suddenly defenses have to pick their poison. Do you double Olave and leave Kincaid one-on-one with a linebacker? Do you play single high safety and risk getting beat deep? Do you bring an extra defender in the box to stop the run and leave receivers in favorable matchups outside? There's no good answer, and that's when Josh Allen becomes absolutely unstoppable. This move would also accelerate Keon Coleman's development by taking pressure off him. Instead of being asked to be the number one when he's not ready, Coleman could settle into a complementary role where he can learn and grow without the weight of the offense on his shoulders. That's better for his long-term development and better for the team's immediate success. It's a win-win situation that allows everyone to operate in their optimal role. The root tree would open up dramatically with Olave's skill set. Right now, defenses can sit on certain concepts because they know we don't have the speed to threaten them vertically with consistency. With Olave on the field, every route concept becomes viable again. Play action becomes devastating because safeties have to respect the deep shot. Screen passes become more effective because defenses are playing deeper. The entire offensive playbook expands when you have a legitimate field stretcher who commands attention on every snap. Brandon Beane has never been afraid to make bold moves when the opportunity presents itself. He traded up for Josh Allen when he knew that was our franchise quarterback. He's made aggressive free agent signings to build a championship roster. This is the moment for another one of those franchise-altering decisions. The Saints are reportedly listening to offers. Olave fits our needs perfectly, and our window to win is right now. Everything is aligned for this to happen if Beane is willing to pull the trigger. Some might point to the risk of giving up significant assets for a receiver, especially given how the Diggs situation ended. But Olave is younger, on a cheaper contract, and hasn't shown any of the personality concerns that eventually made the Diggs situation untenable. This is a different scenario entirely, and judging future moves based on past outcomes that had different variables isn't the way to build a winner. You evaluate each situation on its own merits, and the merits here are overwhelmingly positive. The urgency cannot be overstated. Every week we wait is another week where Josh is taking unnecessary hits, where the offense is struggling to find rhythm, where our championship odds are slipping. The trade deadline is approaching, and if we're serious about winning a Super Bowl this season, we cannot afford to stand pat and hope things magically improve. Hope is not a strategy, action is, and acquiring Chris Olave would be the kind of decisive action that separates pretenders from contenders. Bills Mafia has been waiting decades for a championship. We've been through 4 straight Super Bowl losses. We've been through drought years that tested our loyalty. We finally got a franchise quarterback who can win it all. This is not the time to be conservative or cautious. This is the time to be aggressive, to go all in, to make the moves necessary to capitalize on this championship window while it's wide open. Chris Olave represents that opportunity, and we need to seize it. The bottom line is this: Josh Allen's reputation as one of the NFL's elite quarterbacks isn't really in question. What's in question is whether we're going to surround him with enough talent to let him showcase that elite ability when it matters most. The Patriots' loss stung. The recent struggles have been frustrating, but they're also correctable with the right addition. Olave is that addition, and if Beane can make it happen, we're right back in the conversation as the team to beat in the AFC. Our season absolutely does hang in the balance right now, but that's what makes football exciting. We're at a crossroads where the decisions made in the next few weeks will determine whether we're hoisting the Lombardi Trophy in February or sitting at home wondering what could have been. The path forward is clear, the solution is available, and Bills Mafia should be excited about the possibility of adding a game-changing talent like Chris Olave to an offense that's just one piece away from being truly elite. This isn't about panic, this is about optimization. This isn't about abandoning the process, this is about enhancing it with a strategic acquisition that addresses a clear need. Josh Allen deserves better weapons. Our defense deserves an offense that can match their effort. And Bills Mafia deserves a team that's willing to do whatever it takes to bring home that championship we've been dreaming about for so long. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the like if you want to see the Bills go all in and get Chris Olave to Buffalo. Drop a comment below and let me know. Should Brandon Beane pay whatever it takes to land Olave? Or should we trust the development of Keon Coleman and roll with what we have? Option A, get Olave now. Option B, develop Coleman and stay patient.